to elaborate because people are like,
It's like me when I have to use the bathroom.
what
Oh
is shaken?
gosh.
What is riled? Well,
Welcome back, YouTube. So this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different, which I haven't done on this channel yet, and that's going to be a reaction video, and that reaction video is going to be on the previous Ashes of Creation update video on the Fighter Archetype. And yeah, this is going to be my raw first impressions on whatever this class entails. Now, my main MMO is Black Desert Online, which is known for its combat, and I really think combat in general for a game is very, very important. So we'll see how Ashes of Creation is kind of coming along with that aspect. Also, if you like the content, then make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content like this. But let's jump on in. All right, Ashes of Creation Alpha 2 Fighter Archetype Preview. Let's do it. Nice.
Hello, everyone, and
Hello,
welcome
hello, hello,
to yet
hello.
another day in the world of Vera, and we have an exciting update for you today.
Exciting
We're going to be showing off
update. Let's
one of
see
the
it.
most beloved archetypes in
Beloved. All
fantasy
right.
MMORPGs, the Fighter Archetype.
The
And there has
Fighter.
been a lot of work that's been done.
All right. So the Fighter. Uh, well, so far I see a sword and what is that? An orc maybe? So I guess this is going to be more of a sword class, I guess. I don't know. For some reason, when I thought of fighter, I was thinking of kind of like a striker, BDO, ook ook. But yeah, okay, all right.
In progressing this, obviously, the last time we showed anything remotely fighter related, it was
I'm liking the armor.
almost 2 years ago when we did our first
Red's my favorite color,
basic
so
weapon,
kind of like that.
melee weapon revamp from Alpha 1.
Got just a
And
mushroom,
there were
just
a
kind of
couple
walking around.
abilities, obviously, that we showed off, but nothing like the showcase we have stored for you today. You are
All
going to
right.
get some pretty in-depth understanding of how this archetype has been redesigned and the progression that's going to be available as part of Alpha 2, and what a lot of people who
All
play
right, come on, let's
fighters
get
and other
into it.
MMOs love about the class. I'm excited to chat with you about the direction. You obviously
How long
changing
is
the
this?
direction of melee and
Hour and
combat in general at that time,
37
and now
minutes.
we are seeing some of
It
the
was a long
fruitful
time.
um, persist to give you guys a sense of
Perfect.
the archetype and the abilities available to us before we get into combat with some freaky goblin town stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Um, so, do I have a volunteer? Blitz. All right,
Blitz.
so
All
Blitz is the
right.
first
yeah,
one
let's
on the bar.
go.
So what is it,
Let's
a
get it on the bar.
lunge?
All right, let's do it. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Why don't we first start with momentum? I know that sounds like a good idea because momentum is obviously going to be referenced in Blitz. I was just looking at that, and as well as a number of other abilities. And momentum
Okay, a little bit of a skill tree
is
here.
essentially a class energy system. Is that right, Chad?
That is correct.
Talk to me about momentum.
I will say that the UI of this game definitely needs some polishing. Again, I know they're still in the alpha aspect, and I know they probably will polish the UI, but yeah, it definitely needs a little bit of work.
Yeah, I'll go into a little more detail about that. So one thing that we feel adds a lot to just class identity in general is something that is beyond just an ability. In this case, it's a class or in this case, an archetype resource called Combat Momentum. So in your top left of the screen here, you'll see that you've got your standard health bar and your mana bar, and then a third empty bar that you'll see kind of build up in combat as we play. That you build up through all the different actions that you're doing through the kit, and you can use this resource to get passive power to your character based on which form you are in, which we'll get into it in a little bit here. And you can also spend it for certain unique, especially powerful bonuses.
So, and guys, just to remind everyone, obviously, everything you're going to see here is still a work in progress. We are working towards Alpha 2, especially as it relates to the UI, as it relates to VFX, and designs will change, balances will change.
Yeah,
So
of
keep that in
course.
mind. What we're looking
Really
for
early
is kind
stages.
of direction, right? Direction on this archetype. What do you think looks cool? What other fighter influences have you had in other MMOs that you think could be incorporated as well? That's all part of the discussion. What momentum is, and it's good to
Oh,
generate that.
switch to the other
Let
player
us
here.
talk a little bit about Blitz. What is Blitz as an ability?
Yeah, Blitz is your gap closer, your bread and butter gap closer. You pick a target and you charge to the target. There's also a spec option that
Pretty
interacts
cool.
with the
I mean, it's kind of
resource
a
if you choose it.
pretty
That
standard type of
generates some
activity.
combat momentum, so it lets you kind of open the encounter
It's kind of like solar
with
flare for warrior,
a little bit of
I
resource to
guess. We'll
start.
see what it
Okay,
looks
so
like.
I'm gonna charge the target directly, and I'm gonna deal damage on arrival, which is physical based. And this spec option says that it generates 20 additional combat momentum. Now, presumably, combat momentum does not
Generates 20
overflow
combat
after it hits
momentum.
the maximum.
Cooldown, 8 seconds.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Okay, that was cool. And presumably, this also scales verticality.
I'm assuming that the cooldowns are reduced greatly just so they can show off the skills. I'm assuming. I highly doubt that this skill you can spam it every 1 second. And maybe he did mention that. I'm not sure.
As well.
Let's test it.
And guys, for the purposes, obviously, of this demonstration, I've set my cooldowns to 0 so that I can more
There you go.
repeatedly use.
But he said it to 0. On the toolkit it said 0.8. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. We got some.
Is he gonna jump across the river? No shot.
I don't want to spoil the
I'll nuke
skills.
him for you.
No shot.
It's a kind of stormy day with this ancient violence in the background.
A little bit of
By
some.
the way, we are playing for the first time in I believe in game the Renkai orcs. Got my trusty Mohawk.
Hey, orc. There we
That
go.
is probably the most appropriate race class combination.
I thought so.
All right, so I'm gonna try to jump. I'm gonna try to scale this thing on you. Let's see here.
No way.
Oh man, now that is cool.
What?
That was awesome. Let me do that again.
Yeah.
Okay, I was actually about to replay it.
You get to like that archer on the ledge that's just free shooting on you, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna.
No, that's pretty cool. What the heck?
Oh, my bad there. Let me try this one more time.
That's kind of OP. So did he
Oh, very
jump
nice.
first and then hit it?
Okay, so by default, so now let me try this. Oh, did you just die?
I think that was a bad nuke.
My bad.
From someone.
My bad.
Oh
no,
no.
that's for sure my bad.
Skill is
That feels really good.
crazy
right
range
there.
and OP.
That feels clean. Very
That's
clean.
so crazy.
Did somebody also die over here?
Just a little mushroom kid.
Oh, a little mushroom. Okay. Okay, Blitz feels really good. Well done with that. I like that. It's super smooth and fluid.
30-meter range.
You know, there's not really any
That's kind of
movement
crazy.
interruption either on contact or at the initiation.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Which is obviously one of the most, you know, ideal feeling points of any mobility
That's
skill.
kind of insane. Yeah, that's a really good mobility skill for sure. All right.
Okay, let's talk about the next one. So we have Brutal Cleave.
Brutal Cleave.
This
Let's
is probably
see.
your most bread and butter AoE attack.
Spin attack, dealing damage to all enemies.
It does a medium amount of damage. It's not one of your more spectacular AoEs, but it's your primary.
I kind of like that
AoE
shield animation. Kind of cool.
So you're going to be using this a lot to build your momentum. And you also weave this a lot between your weapon combos because your weapon attack finishers will
kind of cool,
reset
I guess.
seconds off of this cooldown. So if you're like going back and forth between cleaves and weapon attacks, you get to do more of them and have more uptime.
Okay. Yeah, That's pretty cool. All right. So this
Yeah.
does
Also, the more targets you hit, so that's why it's really good in AoE situations, is you get more momentum based on how many targets you're hitting.
Got it. So after jumping in with Blitz,
Do
especially if there's multiple
brutal
targets,
cleave.
going with a brutal cleave is just going to really ramp that momentum.
Yeah.
And then it looks like also that this
Kinda cool.
ability, it says shares a cooldown with Overpower. And it says also the weapon combo finisher will reduce its cooldown by 8 seconds.
Yep. So you'll be resetting overpowers more frequently, because if we want to just jump over to that one, that's the single target counterpart to this attack.
Overpower.
It's just a single target hit, but it is a shorter cooldown, so you can reset them more frequently, and it's also generating your resource. So it kind of, you're choosing which one to
I wish
use
we
based
knew
on
like the
what
cooldowns of these skills are.
Very cool. That looks great, by the way. Scott and Siva have done an amazing job.
Yeah, I'm really happy with how the effects turned out. Like, making physical look this cool, like, you know,
That
it was a feat.
That blitz skill is kind of nutty.
It is awesome. Let's talk about Maim.
Man's just floating in the air.
Right here. Talk to me a little bit about Maim.
Get a little bit of lighting in there.
More powerful AoE attack in the kit. Do you have a spec right now for the
yeah, let me take a look
range?
here. And by the way, Brutal Cleave, I apologize. There's no additional functionality, it looks like, on Brutal Cleave.
There you go.
Overpower.
Okay, so it doesn't have any spec options either.
That's right.
But Maim does. And should I turn Maim off? Let me turn the spec option off first, because this actually extends
Piercing projectile.
the distance of the projectile by...
You can throw your sword?
Essentially launching that piercing projectile, is that right?
Yeah, let's take a point out of that first, and then we'll just kind of...
Did I read that right?
Effect.
Okay.
You can just throw it?
So this is just a cone in front of you. You're hitting in a cone in front of you. It's pretty heavy hitter. You're not resetting the cooldown of this, so you need to be more,
That's kind of cool.
Aware of when you're using this.
All right.
But it also has the added effect of it will do more damage against recently tripped enemies. So that's where you really want to save this, is if you've tripped someone, or if someone else has tripped an enemy, you capitalize on it by basically smashing down on them with this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Looks so good. Love it. That is awesome. Okay, so
yeah, I like the animation.
Let's spec into the projectile.
Okay, yeah.
Now this is going to give you obviously a lot more range.
So you can actually throw it?
Oh,
oh okay. I see. So you don't throw the sword.
This adds a piercing projectile on top of the attack,
okay.
so you're still getting that.
That's actually really... Look how far.
It's staying the same, but you're adding a projectile.
Look how far that is.
And the cool thing here too is the projectile gets the bonus of the damage bonus from the trip, so you could actually combo into a target that you see trip from range.
Pretty cool.
This as well. One reason this is a spec option is some fighters won't have a trade-off.
Hit that mushroom. Hit that mushroom.
That feels really good.
Oh my gosh, look at that. He literally hit him that far away.
That is awesome. I'll give myself some mana.
Cheats. Cheats. Cheating.
Okay, cool. I love Maim. That's
awesome pretty cool.
Ability.
Yeah, I like
Let's
that.
Talk about
Battle Cry.
This is definitely one of my personal favorites. It doesn't do damage, but it's got some really cool effects going on with it. So, do you want me to start talking about it?
What was that?
Sure,
Is that just an auto attack?
Okay, cool. So I love this as an AoE opener.
Okay.
What it does a few things. One, it riles your allies, specifically your party members. It will also apply a status effect called Shaken to your enemies.
That sound effect, though.
A certain amount of combat momentum per ally that you riled. And then just to elaborate, because people are like...
It's like me when I have to use the bathroom.
Like, what is Shaken? What is riled? Well, Shaken right now is a debuff on enemies that whenever they take damage, they have a small chance to become tripped. So there's some good combos with this where you go into like a multi-hit.
It's kind of funny when I play Black Desert Online. I literally like the audio is muted. Like I don't play with the audio turned on at all. So probably something that I would have to definitely turn off would be that.
AoE, and and then by triggering trip.
These are feeling great.
Pretty cool.
I
Yeah.
do like the battle cry.
So I wonder how the auto attack works. Like, it looks like some of those attacks were just auto attacks. So is there like a button? I didn't really see him pressing a button or anything like that.
That is like
Hmm.
probably the most standard feel. Wind.
Oh gosh.
Back.
Whirlwind. It's a classic warrior skill. Also, why is this called a fighter class? Like this is a two-handed sword. And first of all, the sword here, it just needs to be bigger. Come on, just give me a big, great sword. Don't give me this puny sword. Like I hope that they implement some big swords. Okay? I love my two-hander swords. I was a Awakening Warrior main pretty much since launch. Well, I guess launch there was no Awakening until later, but I've been a Warrior main since 2016, and then when Awakening came out, I was Awakening Warrior pretty much until I guess like 3 or 4 months ago, until one of my good friends absolutely just kind of whipped me with Striker, and I just had enough of it, and I rerolled to Striker, and I have been a Striker for the last 3 or 4 months. But I love my Awakening Warrior. Anyway, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out why this is called Fighter.
A while ago, and talk to me about what's changed about Whirlwind.
So Whirlwind is actually pretty close to what it's always been. It's an AOE channeled attack that ramps up in speed the longer you hold it. There's also a spec option on the right if you want to pick that. That gives a final upward swing at the end. That has some additional bonuses to it.
Okay. So let's do it without the spec first.
Okay,
All right. Cool.
kind
So
of
it
cool.
exits out after the essentially
It seemed
the
kind of
shield
short.
there. Let's see.
Yep.
I'm out of mana. There we go.
Like I feel like there could have been like 2 or 3 more seconds added onto it.
Yeah, you're also able to move during it,
Also,
which
the
is
animation
so
of that
it's pretty
skill
nice to be able to just kind of like
seems a little
use this
wonky.
while you're moving through a pack of mobs.
Again, I
So
know it's
spec
pre-alpha.
now
They'll
into
you
the
know
option that I could invest additional points
make sure all the
into
animations
a
look much
skill
better,
if I
but
wanted to give myself
it
a
seemed kind of
finishing blow, essentially.
odd a little bit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So you get a big hit at the end.
I mean, so far, just first impressions, the combat doesn't look too bad. Honestly, I definitely think this is something that I could play. Coming from Black Desert Online, obviously, in my opinion, that's like the best combat ever for an MMO. And I'm not against kind of like a tab target system. Like I really liked Arcage combat. I feel like that was a pretty good blend. So, I feel like if they can really nail down the combat, the animations, the skills, crowd control skills, all of that, they can really get that down, then, I think this is going to be a pretty solid game. And yeah, I mean, so far the skills seem pretty cool. And I think they have, I think I've read or heard somewhere that they have like a little bit of a hybrid system as well, where you can kind of like target, like you don't have to necessarily tab target, but you can like kind of look at them and it will like target them. So, but yeah, I mean, so far, pretty cool.
Also, you can stop this at any time, so you're seeing him do the full channel. But if it's like, oh, I want to, cancel out of it early, for like, let's say one thing I'll do from time to time is if I shake in enemies, and then this ability is kind of good at tripping enemies because it's hitting really rapidly. You might see a trip and you can cancel out of it into a maim early. If you want to show off that combo.
Into a maim. Yep. Let's do it.
There you go.
Oh, nice. That's cool. That feels good.
Yeah, a little bit of like kind of a
That's
combo
so
system
cool.
into
That's
it.
awesome. All right, cool. Whirlwind feels good too. All right, Cataclysm is another one that we saw a while ago. Let us showcase that new Cataclysm. Oh, that feels much better.
Jeez. Seems like a very like heavy skill.
That's cool.
This is also another way to apply shaken to enemies as well.
That's kind of cool. I like
It
that.
and Battlecry are
Little
kind of on
spikes.
separate, longer
Pretty cool.
cooldowns, so you might find yourself sort of going back and forth between these
Yeah.
interchangeably.
And you
I mean,
can
definitely,
change
it
the
seems very
direction here
impactful.
mid wind up.
Very impactful. And you can move it. That's kind of cool. You can move it like that.
I like that. Obviously, the granularity in that.
Yeah, it gives you a little more agency. Like you're not just locked in place because it
Yeah.
is a full rooted ability. You cannot move during this.
But you
being
can
able to
move the
turn,
camera. Yeah.
gives you a little bit more,
Flexibility.
control over what happens as things might change mid cast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the freedom feeling there.
Yeah.
And that's obviously something that is a philosophy and a standard that's taken
Should be.
across
Yes.
a lot of the classes as it comes to root
That's
ability use and whatnot. That freedom of agency, that movement.
that's a good sign. That is a really good sign that they are kind of focusing on that flexibility and kind of range of motion with the skills. I definitely understand how some of the skills will kind of root you in place, but at least you can have a little bit of more freedom to move. So with the move the camera. So that's really nice. I like that. That's a good sign.
Is core to kind of the melee experience and general skill usage. All right, next up we have Rupture.
Rupture.
Yep, so this is an interesting one. It's a single target attack, and it puts a temporary debuff on your target where if they are moving, while that effect is on them, they will build up wounded stacks. We can talk about the status effect in a moment here, but
Can we
at the
talk
end
about
of
the
it,
fact that he should have literally 0 blood pressure remaining after rupturing that much blood? Oh
sure,
my god!
we can build in that mechanic. But also you'll notice at the end of it, he takes a big hit of damage.
This man had an aneurysm, and it just keeps bleeding.
And the idea is that that damage will scale with how much wound they have on them. So this will have kind of some inter-synergy going on with itself, but also
That's so funny.
there will be other sources of wound that you
Jeez.
can kind of
The sound
synergize
effect
this
too.
with this further for that big delayed hit at the end.
Wow. Okay. So the wounds are essentially these stacking debuffs.
That's kind of cool though.
And the more you
it
build
stacks
that up,
while they
this is
move.
actually a stacking thing.
That's cool.
It's not just like a single status effect. So the more you're wounding the target, the more and more debuffed their healing, incoming healing.
I really
becomes.
like that
So
skill.
it's one of those
That's
things
really
where
cool.
if a fighter is on your target.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
mean, looks really good.
Okay. Love Rupture. Also love an insane amount of blood that's happening. Overpower. Talk to me about Overpower. What do we got here?
We talked about this one. This was the the resource generator.
That's right.
Sorry, below it, Maim actually. If you go to Maim and then to the right, there are some things over here that you get to unlock as well, which kind of synergize with Rupture. For example, Brutality allows you to start applying wound stacks through your weapon combos. So if you really want to lean into that utility,
yeah.
I'm a heal debuffing spec fighter, right? That's my thing that I do. You could go into this, and now your weapon attacks in addition to generating momentum.
Yeah, I mean that's actually really nice. Again, kind of gives you that flexibility where you can kind of customize your class on how you play. So that's really nice.
Momentum are also
okay. Let's talk about this apparent crippling blow.
You just kick them?
Yeah, sure. So crippling blow. This one's pretty simple. This is a standard single target snare. So a pretty who's the last thing they want is
is that the crippling blow?
Snaring them is gonna
weird. the picture is like you're kicking someone. I thought it was gonna be like a kick or something.
So crippling blow is pretty strong actually, especially when it comes to PvP. I mean that's a
they gotta change the picture
significant reduction in movement
on
speed.
that.
Yeah, it is single target, so you do have to choose wisely who you are snaring, but it's pretty nice.
And then we have Lethal
Lethal
Blow.
blow.
This is another one of my favorites. This is the execute of the kit.
Oh,
It's single
okay.
target as well.
Execute.
But the
All
lower
right.
health they are,
Let's see how it looks.
the
More
harder it's gonna hit.
damage. Yeah, of course.
So this is really like you're trying to do as much damage with your other abilities as possible, and then when you get them like within that kill threshold, you're just gonna hit them with this, hope for a crit maybe, and finish them off.
I guess it's kind of like similar to like execute on warrior in WoW.
Use it. There you go.
Oh my god.
Wait,
This does have a couple spec options as well.
what was the
One you
skill?
kind of went over.
Animation.
If you kill them with that, and you have the spec
Oh, what the
that
heck?
resets Blitz, you could immediately
What?
Blitz again, even if it was off cooldown when you
That
got
was
the kill.
kind of cool. What was that?
But if you want to open your skill tree here, we can
It does.
50% of
yeah. So a lot of the time, I've played games where
As health, okay.
executes hit really hard, but you waste a lot of the damage, and it's like, oh, I saw a cool big number, but it didn't really do anything. It's kind of wasted. This spec option
50%
lets you
of
make use out of that,
damage,
so it
health, and
turns a
mana.
overkill damage
That's
into
kind of
like
cool.
health and mana return to
Yeah,
you.
Oh,
okay.
that's awesome. And you know what I love about that is, at
Overkill
least as it
damage.
relates to PvP, is that you do not have granularity insight to the opponent's hit points. So you're really rolling the dice if you got blood
Fusion.
Yeah, so kind of like that lethal blow spec we were using. This is another way for the fighter to get health and mana back to itself. That's kind of one way that the fighter sustains itself, because it's in the thick of things, right? It's a primary target. You've got to be in danger to be doing a lot of what your kit does, and this is like one way the fighter can stay in the fight. And if you pop this, it's a big cooldown. But for the next 6 seconds, any damage you do will have a percent returned as health and mana to you.
Okay.
Okay. So somebody nuke me for like 500.
Exactly
Go ahead,
500.
Okay, I don't want to do it all at once.
Should I get back?
Yep, so that last hit missed the window.
Yeah,
but
6
you got
seconds.
a good chunk from your other attacks.
I mean, a couple
The
hundred.
value of this is super variable based on when you
Yeah.
use
I
it.
wonder
So
how
if
long the
you pop it in
cooldown
the right
is.
moment, you've got a lot of targets around you. You're like popping your AoEs. Like this is going to get a ton more value.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like
That.
So it's an insta cast that can happen in the middle of any ability activation.
Right.
Nice.
I guess that I'm trying to think. Doesn't Striker and BDO and their skill called Battle Cry? Am I going crazy? It's like the same animation.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, very nice. And I like the effect. Effect looks great.
It's got more of that blood theme.
Yes. I also love the audio for it. It's like you're consuming it a bit. Alright, stuff.
Some
I
loot.
think that was on your corpse. I'm sorry, Brian. I didn't do that right in front of you.
My
It's
loot.
disrespectful. Okay, cool. Let's skip Exert for now. Let's go to Lunging Assault.
Yeah, so this is like going to be one of your first spenders of your resource. This spender is more for mobility. It's a smaller spender, but whenever you use this, you will dash forward a short distance and do an attack at the end.
Opportunity.
You're immune to crown. You're immune to hard crowd control effects. Okay.
You can actually probably have a net
Huh.
gain with this if there's a huge amount of enemies, like a train or something, right?
Yeah, it would probably take a lot of enemies actually. You can
Additional charge
get
generates
resource
5 additional
back, and
combat
therefore
momentum.
you're getting to do this more,
Okay.
and you're also not losing the value of your resource that you're getting passively through your forms, which again we'll get to soon.
Cool. Okay, let's try this. There we go. And now I don't need a target for this. I can just kind of.
Nope, freely. It's a reposition.
It's a long video.
Alright. That's cool. So it's kind of a Not too far a distance there.
The animation
Yeah,
needs some
it's meant
work.
to like be more of a repositioner where you're dancing around your target. You might be zipping back and forth between different enemies in melee, long distance
Leap strike.
mobility skills.
All right, let me try this more long distance mobility skill here.
Let's
Talk
see
to me
leap
about
strike.
leap strike.
Yeah, so this is like
All right, go ahead and
is
go across the river.
the most
Oh my God,
free
look at that
mobile.
You can look at
distance.
that distance.
Yeah,
Jeez.
it's very far and it doesn't require a target, unlike Blitz.
Oh, that's kind of
And
cool.
you're also gonna basically deal damage and AOE around it, so it's just a more powerful but less frequently usable
Yeah.
gap closer slash opener
kinda-
if you even decide to use it as an opener.
All right, let's see it.
Oh my God! I am the Juggernaut.
Alrighty.
Oh, that was so cool.
You piqued
I
my
love
interest.
Yeah, that's a fun one to use. It's
Holy smokes!
definitely more AOE focused.
And again, guys, I am using
That's
0
pretty cool.
cooldowns right now just so I can demonstrate the abilities. Well, I know you're all thinking like, what? This character's just gonna fly around the battlefield.
Holy
Not what's happening.
Literal rocket.
I know.
You can actually use this too to go up
Rocketeer.
on ledges. Like if you were to try and get up on one of these ledges we were trying earlier,
Yeah.
you don't even need a target to use it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, a little
Just checking
mobility
all the spec
skill.
options
I like
here.
that. Go over there on the ledge.
Not
Let's
currently,
see
but
it.
there will be.
Come on, come on.
All right, let me try to jump up on here.
Oh, so
I was
close.
too short. I was too short. My bad. Hold on, let me try.
Also, that effect on the rocks was a little
Actually,
janky.
Usually I've had more success when I'm covering gaps rather than actually like trying to go up different verticalities.
There it is.
Sometimes,
You
yeah,
gotta
no
jump.
worries.
Oh, we did
You
it.
gotta jump
We
and
did
do
it,
it.
boys.
Steven Smart.
It happened. Very cool. All right, let's talk a little bit about these different forms that I'm seeing here.
Yeah, so these are probably the biggest contributors to your combat momentum resource. You can spend momentum, but it's a resource that's primarily meant to be built up and maintained because of the bonuses that these forms provide.
Switching to?
Anyone you want. We'll
Let's
get through all of them.
go to, I am playing a Renkai, so ferocity sounds good. Ooh.
All right. So now you'll notice in the top left here, he is in this form. So as long as you don't change forms, you will
2%
permanently
attack
remain in the
speed
form
per
of
10 combat
ferocity.
momentum.
We actually renamed this recently, so you'll see Tempest there, but that went through a rename. So while in this form, your momentum will increase your attack speed the higher your momentum is. So for every point of momentum that you've got, your attack speed's going up. So you're basically ramping up that attack speed as you generate.
So where I
Okay.
see right now, I'm at
Yep.
Okay.
up
Yeah.
and it's dropping. Very nice.
Yep. You got to
That's
stay
cool.
in
I like
combat
that.
to keep the resource going.
I like that. It's like another thing to manage.
And that's really what the fighter's all about, is like ramping up, being in that
Yeah.
combat momentum, hence the name. And when the fight's
Wow, it feels like that the attack speed is
Faster.
even increasing each individual ability speed as well.
Yep.
That's huge.
It's like you're going berserk.
I'm gonna shift V into maybe a form of celerity here. This one increases your movement speed, so this lets you just move around the battlefield a lot more nimbly. So if you need to close the gap a little bit and your gap closers are on cooldown or whatever, this is a good way of traversing. And then the third one is more of a defensive option, a bit more situational, but it is a disable resistance form. This is form of fluidity, and while you're in it, you are much more difficult to be CC'd.
Okay.
So you're more resistant to stuns, to roots.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Trips, pretty much anything that falls into the CC category.
Try to sleep me or something?
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Sure, I'll give it a shot. There's a chance that
to literally be unstoppable through CC effects, like this is going to be a 40% reduction on that. That's pretty powerful.
That is pretty powerful.
Yep. And again, all the numbers are kind of in tune or being tuned. We just, when we're testing these out.
All right. last but most certainly not least is an ability called God Mode. I mean, excuse me, what's it called? I'm sorry.
God mode.
Exert?
This is Exert. Yes,
I
it's
just
my
want to.
my
Yeah,
earlier
I know
preface.
your segue. Actually, it's a great segue. God Mode, aka Exert. We have what?
So if we go over here to the in the skill tree to the left, Exert. This is a very high cost, very high payoff, like essentially like super mode that you can go into, and
Yeah.
you're rapidly spending your momentum while you're in this form. It's all or nothing. You can't turn it off. Once you pop this, you will stay in this mode until your momentum is fully drained, and then you're gonna
Drained.
have to build
Yeah.
it all the way back up again. Um, Meanwhile, you're getting increased attack speed. You're getting CC immunity,
That's kind of
and
nuts.
whatever else it says in here.
The
We
Yeah,
got
effect ends
we've
when
got
augment mode
20%
is fully
increased
depleted.
attack and movement speed, and immunity to disabling effects
yep.
while active.
So if you can kind of draw the connection, this is like you're taking the three forms, which are CC resistance, movement speed, and attack speed, and getting just all three of them in a huge burst for a small window of time.
Yeah,
Very
that's
small.
kind of cool.
Yes.
Yep.
And that small window is potentially, as it states here, at least it would be about 5 seconds if you're fully charged up on momentum, because it's essentially ticking at 20% per second.
You get what,
Is that right?
100? So yeah,
Let's
And
talk.
again,
Yeah,
all the
go ahead.
numbers are
so 5
super tunable.
seconds.
Absolutely.
We
Yes,
will be
yes.
tuning these numbers, but we're just
This is where we balance. Everything's going to be balanced, right? This is just the initial find the
Balance?
fun,
What's
and we're going
what's
to
balance?
work around balance here.
I mean,
But
BDO?
this is a cool
They
ability.
don't
This is
balance.
literally like super. I am a fighter.
I don't know what
Hear
balance
me
is.
roar. Glory.
all right. Use it. Oh, you don't have? Did you not spec it?
Oh, I thought I did. I thought I did spec it. Let's try it again.
Also,
Let's
that
check the
animation
tree. If
Yeah, let me double
was
there
check.
so
might be an
funny.
issue there.
He's
Did I
like,
spec it? Did I spec it? I do. I do have it specced.
I figured that used to work.
Let's double check. Hold on. Let's try one more time.
All right. Well, let's use it
expression
without that.
failure.
That used to work.
My bad. Guys, welcome to Bugs.
Welcome to
Yep,
bugs.
Okay. okay.
Now it's balanced.
Let's show. Yeah, now it's balanced. See, the game wouldn't even allow that level of imbalance. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Let me generate.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Now you can see the
Show the effect one more time while I'm not.
you can
kinda
see the
moving
cooldowns there.
around. Okay. I just keep this
Just
going all the
spam.
time. I
Just
got no
spam.
cooldowns.
Yeah. Now we're checking.
It's so good. Oh, it's so good.
Geez, some of those cooldowns are pretty long.
Okay. Let me give myself some.
See, I don't know if I like that
And now let's
too
switch to
much. Like I'd rather the skills be a little bit less like impactful, but still have the skills to use, right? Like I don't want to use up all my skills and then be auto attacking. Like I think that's boring, right? Like I feel like the skill cooldown range, like 5 to 10 seconds, but like when you get like 15 plus seconds for your skill cooldowns, uh again, it's just kind of like boring in a way. You're just sitting there waiting and you're just auto attacking. I don't know if I can. Hopefully that's adjusted to where you're using your main skills a little bit more. Like I said, I'd rather it be less impactful and a little bit more engaging than you just popping all your skills and then waiting 15, 20 seconds and you're just auto attacking because that's just not very fun in my opinion. And I don't even know if that's actually a true representation of the skill
That's cool. I love
cooldowns.
that effect. That effect looks great. Pretty beefy looking sword that I have equipped.
Beefy sword. Really, my dude? That is a very puny sword. Okay. I need you to input a massive, massive two-handed sword. Great sword. Give me a massive great sword, please. That is not a beefy sword.
Captain Brian and
So we've been revamping the weapon tree entirely. So the first point
Okay.
of progression here is we wanted to give people a choice in how long their weapon combo actually is. So you've got the base weapon combo that you start with on the greatsword, which is 3 attacks, and you can extend that out into 4 attacks if you want. In addition to that, both the 3rd hit and the 4th hit can have proc finisher attacks, and those proc finisher attacks can choose between different modifications that would best fit your class. You could choose between
Yeah,
a
that's
little
pretty
bit
cool.
of deflection bonus, which is
It just gives you
avoidance,
more
I think
customization
crit damage,
to your class.
accuracy.
so
That's
each
cool.
node you're kind of choosing a different. Oh, I see. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, right now they're all the same. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
that's
mix
pretty
up.
cool. I'm gonna go ahead and skip ahead a little bit, and I'm sure that's what they're gonna be talking about here is just kind of that skill tree, and that's cool. I'm sure it's gonna be adjusted numerous times, right? So just kind of mainly want to look at the combat and the skills here, but yeah, I mean, I like the customization. There's a lot of freedom, so that's a good thing.
Team and the engineering team, and Keenan, I think you were part of this as well, obviously,
Why
between
are they
the
moving
system
like
and the
that?
interactable environments. Something that I have not seen happen really very often as part of MMO level design is destructible assets. We have that in and running. I want to see if I can destroy these 2 tents here real quick. Oh, wait,
Someone
somebody else
did.
destroyed them.
Not you.
They just got hit by the cone of cold?
I think so. Oh, that was good. That was hilarious. I'll find some other tents. I'm sorry.
Are those supposed to be goblins?
Here we go.
Don't forget to put your helmet on.
Oh, should I put my helmet on? Do I want to put the helmet on?
It's a cool looking helmet.
All right, I'll put the helmet on. Let me see. Hold
That's
on.
a cool way to solve. No, I meant you could just kill him.
Oh, that's pretty
If he had been wearing his helmet when you were
Here we go.
attacking him,
Giving me some berserk
Oh.
vibes.
Love it.
I kind of like
So
the
now,
foggy
of
look.
your guys' experiences in MMOs, how many of you actually mained
What in the world?
as a fighter?
me, I think I'm the only one here.
Am I going crazy, or is fighter like an actual class? Like I've always known this type of class to be known as a warrior. Let me know down in the comments if I'm going crazy, because I lose my mind. Like when I think of fighter, I think of like striker. Like you're using your fist. You know, going crazy, I guess.
I know everyone's here has played fighter, but I love playing fighters. Like they're kind of my first choice.
You know, I'm gonna. Oh, hold on.
Now wait. Now
Oh, yeah, thanks,
that
very nice.
Oh yeah, this is
that is
mob.
a
It's a named mob. We'll have to be sure to loot him.
okay. Now that's a great sword. Okay. Just put that sword on you, and you give that sword to him. Okay. That is the sword that I want on my character. That is a massive great sword. Yes, please.
After we kill him.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, Steven needs to loot him, not anyone else.
Why are you guys saying that?
Yeah, it's almost like something happened.
Yeah, we don't have any like ninja looters in this group for sure.
Now, some of you guys are seeing that the effects of that big explosion.
Seems a little
That is
choppy.
still effects that are being authored right now, but that is specifically a progression. Oh, that.
What?
I got some. Looked like
Watching the goblins run is hilarious.
Hold on.
Empowerment and how it works. However, we've changed a little bit how that works. Now on the finisher attack of every combo, you get the element based on what your infused
Gosh,
element is.
that range
And
is
then you
so
can use
insane.
certain abilities to promote that from burning to like conflagrate in the case that we're
See,
seeing
Oh my
here.
god.
see, I don't like that. I don't like how. Do you notice how he used all of his skills and then he was just auto attacking? Like that's just boring. Like again, I'd rather you just maybe reduce the impactfulness of these skills and reduce the skill cooldowns, right? Like I'd rather you do that than me just pop on my skills and then auto attack and then wait until all the skills pop up again. Yeah, I definitely do not like that. I like the skills, most of them. Some of them need a little bit more work, but I like the skills. I like the animations. I like more of the freedom of the skill. But the skill cooldowns, I think, need to definitely be adjusted so it's a little bit more interactive.
That was a lot.
All about.
Sell out.
That
Ooh.
skill is so cool.
All right, doing a sleep
That's a
again.
pretty cool skill. Yeah. All right, I think I'm gonna kind of keep it there for the reaction video. An hour and 38 minutes is a long video. Really just wanted to kind of see the combat, the fighter class, which is apparently a great sword class. And yeah, I mean, so far pretty good. I mean, for my first impressions, I think overall they're doing really well. I think my only concern is just coming from, a BDO perspective, the skill cooldown, I think can maybe be adjusted and I'm sure it will be adjusted. Again, I don't know if that's actually the true skill cooldowns. I mean, it's still so early in the game, but hopefully it's not because like I've stated previously, the having the skills at a cooldown of 15 seconds plus, again, you're just going to pop all your skills, do auto attack, and then just kind of rinse and repeat. There's not much variability there, especially like with the skill combo. But really pleased with the animations for the most part. The combat, I think is coming along. I mean, I know they're still in Alpha 2, right? So there's, I mean, it's still a work in progress, but I think overall they're heading in the right direction. I think it's looking good. I'm pretty excited, pretty stoked still for this game and the direction it's going. And yeah, I mean, I think it's looking good so far. I think the only thing is just give me a big, big, massive, great sword. Okay, it's all I need in my life. It's just a massive great sword, and that will keep me happy. Okay, but yeah, hopefully my very first kind of reaction video here on the channel uh, is a success, and I'll try to maybe do a little bit more of some reaction videos if there's a positive reaction to it, and it was kind of fun doing this type of video. And if you liked the video, make sure to again give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for Ashes of Creation? Again, I know we're so far away from this game being released, but are you excited about the direction? Did you know that a fighter class is also a greatsword class? Because I didn't know that. Are you looking to play a specific class? I know for me, like obviously greatsword type of class is my cup of tea, but I really, really also like necromancer classes as well. So it'd be kind of cool. I'm pretty sure with their archetypes that they have like a necromancer class kind of laid out. So I'd love to kind of see that class in action. But yeah, thank you for watching this video and I'll see you next time.